Good morning guys, and welcome to the Saturday catch-up video for the 4th of May. So this week has been an extremely busy week here in the driving school. On Tuesday morning I had an interview with one of our PDIs that's just qualified, and she's now coming into the driving school to start on the 20th of May. So again, that's another step forward in our growth plan. In the afternoon, I spent a mind-boggling afternoon with HR representative because, as you may know, we have a number of employed instructors here at the school, as we do admin staff, and of course HR plays a big part in those legal requirements these days. So I won't get too involved with that, but needless to say, it went on for a few hours, and we need to make sure that we've got everything straightened out and documented. However, the vast majority of the week has been laid over to our Facebook Messenger predictable selling system. Now, as you will know, if you've been following these videos, this is something that we've now been working on for probably over 2 months. We did 6 hours of training to give us the concept and the basic idea of how this would work. And then, of course, we've been trying and testing it and developing it ever since. Now that April is actually finished, when we look back at our statistics, we actually had 92 inquiries just from Facebook. And the conversion rate has absolutely gone off the scale compared to what we used to get before we put the automation in place. So the plan for this week was to go in and see how we could make some more little tweaks to make things even better. But what we actually uncovered was more than just a few tweaks. And we're optimistic now that during May, the amount of inquiries and conversions will soar even more. So this thing just keeps unraveling huge potential on a day-to-day basis. Now, there was a couple of technical issues that we had to overcome. And in a moment, we'll pop into the live system and I'll try and explain to you what they were. But the problem we keep coming up against is that all the training that we paid for and attended, it was fantastic, I have to say. But all the training that is available, especially online, is really all aimed at marketing companies that are after subscribers. And of course, how 95% of businesses use this Facebook Messenger automation system is typically they will, a bit like we would do with our instructor training, they will give away something of lead bait, like our free book, for example. So folk then come into Facebook Messenger, they opt into messages, and in return we can give them like a book. And then, of course, they go into a sequence, like an email sequence, and then we're able to follow up with them and warm them up over a long period of time. That's sort of how the vast majority of people use this system. But as I say, in the driving school, we're very different. So therefore, the issue we had is that there isn't really any training available to do what we need to do with it. So therefore, although we've understood the basics and we've done remarkably well with those so far, there is so much more we can do. So this week has really been all about testing various ideas out. And finally, yesterday, Friday, we managed to nail this down, and we're very optimistic that May will actually produce even better figures than we got in April. And bearing in mind that April also covered the 2-week college shutdown for Easter, so that would obviously have some effect on that as well. So this stuff is enormous, and the more we look into it, the more potential that it has. Okay, so let's pop over. Okay, so here we are on our Facebook page, and what I'm going to do is just give you a very quick overview of the things that we've been looking at this week to enhance this system. And obviously I can't really go into too much depth on a 5 or 6 minute video like this one. So of course there's 2 aspects to all of this. One is getting enough eyes on your Facebook page and giving your prospects enough of a reason to actually message you in the first place. And the second one is then how we follow them up with the automation. So this is our messenger inbox, and this is the automated sequence. So when someone does decide to message us, this is the automated reply that we have. And of course, it's all done on a flow system, that if they do this, this happens. If they do this, that happens. And we set all that one up. And I will sort of go into more detail on that on the actual webinar that we've coming up, where we can explain this in full details. But for now, just going to look at the other side of the equation, because of course, if you don't get enough people to your Facebook page and you don't give them a reason to message you, they're probably not going to. So therefore, the automation is not really going to be of much use to you. So, okay, so what we've done then, we've looked at ways that a Facebook page should be just like your website. You know, it's not there as an information platform, of which many do use it for that. It's there to convert people, and you want visitors to your Facebook page to actually message you. Now, why would they do that? Because there are lots of driving schools and driving instructors in any area that you might operate. Why are you going to be different than anyone else? So we've changed our header, and we've updated that. Now we lead with 532 reviews. Now you may not have 532 reviews, but you could lead with local reviews or something similar. But the main thing of all this is that it has a call to action. Message your inquiry now. So we're actually telling them what we want them to do. And of course, that's the first thing they see on our Facebook page. Now, the next thing is a explainer post. So this is what I mean by an explainer post. So this is pinned at the top of our page. So the first thing they see is this. That gives them some idea what we're trying to do here. And then secondly, they see an explainer post. Now, of course, there would be our logo. And just quickly touching on logos, I don't think logos are of much use unless they make a statement. And our statement is, of course, the pass masters, which of course we all know that learner drivers, that's their big thing, is they want to pass. So that's why we make that statement. So your logo may not do that. Once again, we back up the 532 local reviews, and we tell them reach out in Messenger, and we have copied the message button in there. So, you know, they're under no illusions that what we want them to do is to message us. So a way we can do that, so purchase your driving lessons with confidence. Researching customer reviews will help you with your decision, and avoid being one of the 30% of learner drivers that ditch their instructor before taking their driving test. And we use the little emojis there, shocked face, because of course most learners don't know this, and nor do their parents. Take a quick look through the post below, and you'll see many reasons given by local students exactly why they chose Calvin White Driving School. Not all driving schools are the same. So we need to put that into their minds. And then, of course, it's another call to action. So what we want them to do is to go down here and start scrolling through all of our posts. And these posts are there specifically to warm up our prospect and sell them our driving lessons. Now, of course, we all have test passes, as in this case. Another test pass there, test pass, and then of course we come to reviews. So there's a good mixture of test passes to prove that we are actually getting people through their tests, and then we want reviews. Now when we post the reviews, as you can see in here, they're very in-depth. They lead with I chose because. Most ADIs on their Facebook pages either don't use reviews like this, or if they do, the write-ups are very poor. And by poor, I mean they're not constructed to help sell your driving lessons. They need to be in depth. Now we have a review system that we use for getting these reviews, and we can share that with you on the webinar. I haven't got time to go into it right now, but once again, on the end of the post, please feel free to use Messenger should you wish to make an inquiry. So as you see where we're going with this, everything is geared to warming them up, seeing what third-party people say about us, proving that we do what we say we do, and then getting them to message. Now, here's one of the technical issues that we come across. So there are two messenger buttons in Facebook. One is this one. That's the generic welcome message. So if they click on that, then we've set it up in such a way that they will go into our automated system under the welcome message. If, however, they click here from the actual post message button, that's an entirely different secret. That doesn't go to the same place. And what we found is that if they did that, then they would go into our messenger, but it wouldn't go into the automated sequence. And it took us quite a while to figure out how we could do that. Most of the widgets you use for automation are set up on like a comments basis, and we don't want them to comment. We want them to go straight into Messenger. So again, I will go into more detail with that, but just need to know that they are two completely different buttons. But we've got a workaround for that now that's working very well. So what we've got now then, going forward from the 1st of May, which is why we think it's going to do even better than it did in April, is when we've got an automated sequence on the end of this button. We've got an automated sequence on the end of this button also. We've got the call to action sorted out now. We've got the new header. It will increase inquiries, and this will also increase inquiries. And then one final thing we did, as we have now added the Facebook Messenger live chat to our website, and that will be on all of the pages. And of course, in the past, when people come to your website, it's a one-way conversation, in as much that you build your website as best you can to encourage people to pick the phone up and call you. But of course, what we can do now is give them the opportunity to go into Facebook Messenger. And the moment they click this button, again, we've had to set this up to go into our automation. But if they click this, they will go into our automated reply service where we can interact with them. Or you can interact with them whilst you're out teaching folk on your lessons, and all this will take place while you're doing that. And then you can just follow up with them once they're qualified. So again, I think this is another major step forward, and why we're so convinced that this Facebook Messenger system is literally the biggest thing to happen in our industry in the last 10 years. We have never had this level of interaction before, and being able to warm up and get into the minds of potential customers. Okay, so now that we've nailed this down, we're in a position to run the webinar. And of course, on the webinar, we'll be able to spend, like an hour and go into some depth and explain all the ins and outs and everything that goes with this. So if this is something that you've been paying attention to, and you think having this automated system in your own driving school would be beneficial for gaining new customer acquisition, then I would suggest it will be a very good spend of your time to join us on that webinar. So we will release details in this coming week as to when that's going to be. But for now, have a great weekend. It's another bank holiday, of course, on Monday. So we've got another 3-day break, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to click the little bell. That way you'll get a notification every time I put up a new video. Thank you for watching.